Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fly. You already know the vibes. We outside with it. Well, inside because it's really, really hot outside. But we're gonna. Right, and I told you guys that we were going to be consistent with the videos, and we have. So today's video is going to be of my 2025 Acura MDX A-Spec in Apex Blue. So as some of you may know, whoever follows me on Instagram, I had a 2022 Tiger Eye Pearl MDX Type S. And a lot of people were asking, what happened to it, what happened to it, what happened to it. So we had leased a car, and we had a 3-year lease, and the 3 years were finally up. So wifey was the one that drove that car the most. So we finally said, let's get her dream car, which is a 2025 or X5M basically. But we ended up getting a 2025 X5M competition, and that's basically what we did. We got rid of the MDX and we got her an X5M. It's the car she always wanted, she worked hard for, and she finally was able to achieve it. So now with the family getting bigger, an SUV was the correct thing of doing, and we had 2 kids at the time, and when we went to the dealer we had basically tried to get another car vehicle, X7, and it was just too much money and we didn't need the 3rd row. Moving forward, we had a 3rd kid, could have used the 3rd row, but we already had ordered the X5, so we got the X5. But we're not going to get too much into that. The point was that we got rid of the MDX, and basically now we didn't have an MDX, but she had her SUV. So I thought to myself, you know, I feel like I'm slowly moving into the German world, and that's kind of where I don't really want to go. It's good to have a German car business-wise, but my heart is in Honda and Acura, and I feel like the fan base and, you know, the customers, they're all Acura and Hondas. They're not really into the Beamers, and that's really where I came from, was the Acura and Honda. And I told myself, I think I need another Acura. You know, God knows I don't need another car, period. But business-wise, I told myself I need to get another car that's going to continue that clientele, because moving into the German world, I personally felt like I was going to lose my real ones, my OGs, you know, and it's not really like that. You know, I love and prefer my Hondas and Acuras over the German cars any day, no matter what. So I had to give a whole presentation, a PowerPoint, to my wife and let her know that I'm getting another MDX and why I feel I should get another one. You know, and told her, listen, business-wise, it's gonna make sense. That's where my clients are. That's where everything is. And you know, everybody loves this SUV. You know, when I had my Type S, when I had my RDX, everyone was completely in love with it, and I loved it. And it was just a perfect marketing tool, because a lot of people in my age group, I'm 34, I think. As you get older, you forget how old you really are. But I'm 34, and that age group is already having a family, and you know, a lot of them are into cars, and I feel like a lot of people sacrifice their toys to get, you know, an SUV to fit the family, and you know, that's cool. You know, family comes first. But my goal has always been, once getting into the SUV world, was being able to still have your family in a cool SUV, which you can still bag it, put coilovers, lowering springs, put wheels, and my goal ever since we had kids was show the world that SUVs are super dope. And to be honest, a lot of SUVs are a lot cooler than cars. So it's always been my goal since I had kids to move on to the family-oriented platforms, which is, again, SUVs, vans, crossovers. So we went to the dealer and I said, listen, you know, let's try to get an MDX. Shout out to my boy Izzy. He plugged me in with a most amazing salesman. So long story short, we were able to get this Apex Blue 2025 Blue MDX. So basically we're gonna go over the mods I've done to it. It's not much, but as you guys know me, I keep it simple. We have 5,000 miles on it. I got it in February, if I'm not mistaken. We've taken a few trips to it with it. But yeah, let's get into all the mods. The 2025 Acura MDX Apex Blue. So, getting into the MDX world, like I told you guys, I had a Type S. Now with these A-Specs, as they did with the Type S, now they have an advanced trim. So this one is not the advanced trim, to to my knowledge, I didn't even know that existed. So that one comes with a little extra features and different wheels and whatnot, but for the most part, they all look the same. So I went ahead and I was kind of being cheap, so I said let's get at least an A-Spec, and I wanted blue. It was mandatory blue and red interior. So the salesman, he only had blue with black interior, and that was the only one that he wanted to give me a deal on. So after back and forth for like a week, 2 weeks, we finally was able to make it happen with blue with the red interior. So as you can see on the 2025, they did a whole entire facelift. So this front end is exactly the same as the 2025 Type S front end. So from the front, you can't even tell if it's a Type S or not, unless you have, obviously, the badge. So the first thing we did when we got the car from the dealer, went straight to Auto Dent, as you guys know, #1 painters, and we painted all the trims. So as you know, a lot of them come with the plastic trims. Now for 2025, if you buy an advanced version, non-A-Spec, they already come painted. So first thing we did, like we did on the Type S, we painted all the trims, which is all the plastic around there, boom, boom. And then after we painted that, I told him, let's go ahead, and the advanced trim actually comes with all this gloss black like this. This one came matte black. So we went ahead, we painted all this gloss black, which is this grill, that grill, little subtle touches that people probably won't even notice, but mine didn't come with that. It came with matte. So we painted all that along with the trims, like I had mentioned, all the way around, which I think is just a beautiful touch because it goes from rugged to luxury. Then we painted this black, which I feel like a lot of people miss this detail. People paint match this whole thing, even Acura for themselves from the warehouse, from the factory, the advanced trim. This is all painted one color, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Should be two-tone to contrast the middle diffuser. And now that we're in this rear end area, we did the OEM lip kit, which is just the splats on the side. So now you cannot buy this separate, you have to buy it with the front. So unfortunately I did have to buy it with the front, but because this front end is completely different, the front lip was pretty much useless, I guess, for now. Till we get to the front, I'll explain what we did. Then I saw this exhaust tips from Facebook, the MDX group, which was pretty cool. So it's Type S style, but they're 4.5 inch. Opposed to the stock MDX Type S, which I think it's 3 inches, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So they're a lot bigger, and they still give you that aggressive look. Yeah, it might look like a Type S, but it's really not, and you can't go wrong because cosmetically, it needs the dual side tips. It's just perfect. And then along with that, what else did we do here? We're gonna move on to the front. Oh, before we move on to the front, tints, right? So windshield is currently, I believe it's 20% or 15%, and the rest are 5s to blend in. So as we all know, SUVs come with the rear window tinted. So we kind of did 5 on top of that all the way back. And then I think we did 0 or double 5s to match. So this looks even. And then the windshields, usually I always do 35. But sometimes with 35, you can kind of see a glare of the face a little bit. So we went a little darker to 20. Again, shout out to Blackout. They do all my tints. #1 tinting in Kissimmee. So now moving on to the front end, as I was saying, I had to purchase the rear lip with the front lip together. I could not separate it. So what I did was, well, me and Lisandro, we took the front lip and we made it work. Now it's not on here now, but I'm gonna make an update video of us after we had customized it to make it work. So we're gonna be the only ones, yet again, as cringe as that sounds, to have a lip for this front end for now, and OEM. Not aftermarket, not anything else, OEM. And of course, same wheels that I had on the gold one. So these are HF5s. Shout out to Vossen, always supporting the brand with every invention, every car we get. We try to at least throw a set of Vossens on there, especially for the SUVs. For me, it's kind of the go-to. So shout out to KJ also. So these are the same charcoal gray wheels we had on the gold one, but we powder coated them silver polished, and it looks amazing on the blue. Shout out to Mobile Wheel Repair, to Chris, did an amazing job. And of course the tires. So the tires are, I think they're 265, yeah, 265 35 22s. Now let's get into specs, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people is going to ask. These are 22 by 10.5 plus 14. Now this is very, very, very aggressive set right? A lot of people ask me, what do you recommend? What do you recommend? I always tell people, if you don't want to really run aggressive or you really want to run a bigger tire, you should run a higher offset. So my recommendation, if you have an MDX, doesn't matter if you're a Type S, A-Spec base model, this generation, I recommend running 22. You can run by 10 or 10 and a half. And the offset that I would recommend would be around 25. That would keep you semi-flushed and good. Now, why I don't really recommend these specs, because obviously, not that I know how to drive, but I know how to drive, right? So even me with experience of driving, if I drive too low, the fender thing pops out. So I gotta keep pushing them in all the time. And obviously I don't care because I know what to do. Now, for other people, they kind of just want to drive and not worry about anything. So the offset that I recommend was that. If you want to be aggressive like me, go ahead. I rub a little bit in the rear. The clips sometimes come off when I turn and I'm driving too low. So this one is like perfectly, like it's on there, but we can definitely tuck it all the way without a worry. My driveway is slanted, but this is pretty much how it sits, aired out. This is the preset that I have because the rear goes too low. Now the front is like a TSX where it hits the upper control arm. So no matter what I do, no matter how I adjust the shocks, it's gonna stop right there. So keep that in mind, guys. When you're running 22s, this is the lowest you can go because of the control arms. Now rewind a little bit from when we're talking about the lip kit. The side skirts / steps are the same ones that we ran on the MDX Type S. We just got those painted. So pretty much everything was just kind of transfer from one car to another. All I really did was powder coat wheels, change the color of the steps, and then the air suspension. I think I had freshened up the rear shocks, I think it was, or the rear back. That was about it. But everything else was just kind of transferable. So that's why the car just was modded quickly. Now into the interior. As I mentioned before, red guts. Love the Superman look. I don't care what nobody says. Blue with the red hits. I love this interior. It's perfect. So now for 2025, they changed a few things here now. So now the red is all over here. Maybe it was like that. I'm not sure, because my Type S was black interior, but the RDX did not come all the way here. So it might have been a thing already. But what they did change for sure, excuse my music box, is now we don't have the armrest that we had here, or the wrist. So now we have continued wireless charger, which is way better than the last year. And then this little pocket change we keep there. And then we have here the sign in, and this has Google Maps. But again, I'm not going to get into the features of the car too much because that's not my expertise. Got the same panoramic roof. All right, moving on. Enough of the car. If you guys want to know what the car, what features it has, just go on Google, Acura. So moving on to interior is pretty much stock. I got the all-weather mask for free. Shout out to the plug. But we did music. Yes, this is where my Dominican comes in. A complete music box. Huge shout out to Static Music in Kissimmee. Their work is beyond elite. He made me a music box. So here you have the radio and then the EQs. So now you have for the sub, for the one of the speakers in the Chuchero, and then the horns. So this is perfect. He made me a handle. Never had a handle before, but it stays right here. Well, basically here. So now you know, if you know, SUVs have 3 rows. So now you're saying to yourself, how the hell do you put the music in the kids, right? So this is the real reason why we have 3 rows. It's not because we have more kids. It's because we have more needs, right? So here we go. This is the second row. So we have all 3 kids here. We have 1 kid here, 1 kid here, 1 kid here. Now it's like, wow, where you fit the music? Let's move on with the 3rd row. Excuse my towels. Put this down. This is what we did with the 3rd row. We did chucheros. Yes, chucheros. I don't care what anyone says. This is fire. Literally take all this off and put it on the next car. So I'm not too familiar with music. I told him I wanted some fire. So it was up to Lisandro to make me a fire setup and recommend. So we all spoke together and came up with a beautiful horn box and speaker box, and it looks perfect. I actually wanted to put another chuchero here, but we're leaving that for somebody to sit. So you can have the 3 kids, have a guest, have wifey, me driving, all in the dadmobile. You cannot beat that, bro. Just bumping away with the fam in the car. And that's what I try to stress. Having a family is cool, bro. You have an SUV, don't worry about it, bro. Hook it up. Make it to your style where you have the family in there and still enjoy your music. Still enjoy the air ride, the wheels, the beautifulness. All in one. You don't have to sacrifice anything. So now let's get to the sub. So I have no trunk room at all, but it's cool because we're bumping, right? So we have a Q-Bomb 212s audio pipes. I've always ran these. We have a second battery for the music. We have the amp rack, and we have the air underneath. Now some of you are probably asking, like, with all this music, how do you put the shoulder around? So they made the wires quick release. So if you can see here, take this off, boom, and the sub comes out. Chuchero, unplug. Disconnect, put it in the garage, have my whole entire trunk to still fit strollers. So yeah, maybe I have to sacrifice a few things, but when I'm by myself or I don't have a stroller, or some of the times I don't have a stroller, we bumping all day, every day. Again, shout out to Static Music for making this setup. I love this setup. It doesn't look as good as far as fitting, but it works because I wanted the third row and still be able to fit the family. So it's the only way I was able to do all of that with this. So this works for me. I love this car. This shit is fire as hell. And I don't mean just mine specifically. I mean just the MDX themselves. It's just beautiful. 3 rows. You can just mod it and it looks amazing. Yes, they are expensive. I do understand that. But if you have a chance to get one, please get one. These SUVs are the greatest, man. This is my second one. It's just perfect, man. Like, I don't even have other words to describe how useful these cars are. So with that being said, I'm gonna get my child here because I feel like everybody wants my kid to be in every video. So let me go get him real quick so he could kind of close us out, right? Give me a second. So we're showing everybody the blue MDX, what you call the blue lowrider. Why do you call it the blue lowrider?
Because it's low.
It's low? All right, come on, let's go. Let's finish off this video. Let's go. It's parked over there. Come on. Here we go. One thing I forgot to mention, or I didn't, the music. I'm sure you guys want to hear the music, but we're gonna either do another video on the music. So what do you think about this blue one?
It has cool tires and it's low because you bought it from a long time ago and it's low rider.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna close out this video. So what are we gonna tell everybody? To comment, like, and subscribe. Right, Juju? All right? People need to watch us because we're trying to become YouTube famous, right?
Like
What do you say? What do you say? Right? We're trying to become famous, right?
Like the different guys.
Yeah, like the different guys. Just kidding, guys. We're not trying to become famous. We're just gonna start doing videos and adding them because you guys seem like you guys wanted more of my child in there. And I guess it's a memory or later in the future when they get older, we can always look back to. But again, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna continue to be consistent. On to the next one, guys. Tell everybody bye. Say bye, Juju. If you got to this part of the video, you're a real MVP. I got a surprise for all of you. So after this video releases, you'll see. Again, thank you guys for watching, especially the people that stayed till the very end. This surprise is about to be crazy. Shout out. Holla at y'all.